Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bramski Vlogs. Matt Bramall here with another ski chat this Friday. Hope you're all doing well wherever you are. Just before I bring in today's guest, hope you've been enjoying all the recent videos. Thank you to everybody who has come on board, like the videos, subscribe to the channel. If you do enjoy this today, then of course you can continue that by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving any comments or questions that you have in the section below. The engagement's been fantastic, and hopefully from our discussion today, we'll get some more, and we look forward to reading those. So my guest today is a regular on the channel. He's been on a number of our ski chats before. He is one of our Austria experts, and today we're going to be covering a number of topics. We're going to have a quick look back at the last several months before looking forward to what is at the moment very optimistic chances of this winter happening. We're going to go into what the latest sort of restrictions are with regards to masks, the situation with Aprés Ski, and yeah, just generally sort of talking up the excitement for this coming winter, because it's not that far away. So without further ado, I'm going to be bringing in Andy from Snow Camps Europe.
Hello, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm all right, Andy. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm a little bit envious of you going off to Canada for the winter.
Oh, yeah, it's not quite hit home yet, but I think when I've jumped on that flight, which actually will have already happened, but yeah, then I think the excitement will start.
Okay, so by the time this goes out, you'll already be in Canada.
Yes, that will be true.
Well, I saw the location, the what is it, a chalet? What do they call it? A chalet, a hut, or
I mean
a lodge? A lodge.
Yeah, it's a heli ski lodge, which I think is also just an enormous chalet with a helipad.
Brilliant. Looks fantastic. I hope to see a lot of video footage of you in the winter.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to showing the area. But let's get on to you, mate, and what sort of you've been up to. Sort of go through us real quickly how last winter was, and also what you've been up to this summer.
Okay, yeah. So obviously last winter, anybody who follows me on Snow Camps Europe's Facebook or YouTube channel will know that I kept everybody up to date with how it was progressing. And then obviously we went into a lockdown situation and lifts got closed. And then as we then reopened, albeit we only opened for internal tourism, it was a mixed winter, to be honest. There was two sides to it. There was the one thing that even though we were in a lockdown situation, we were able to go skiing. So this was really positive. We could go out, we could ski whenever we wanted. The slopes were pretty much empty. Come the end of the season, we had some absolutely massive powder days. And again, if you go over to the YouTube channel, you'll see the videos of us skiing waist, if not knee, chest high powder. It was just insane. However, the flip side was there was no tourists. There was nobody here. And even though having the mountain to yourself is fantastic, every day for 6-7 months, it's not so fantastic. We need the tourists. If anyone's lived in a ski village and they've lived there prior to the season happening or post the season happening, they'll know that it's like a ghost town. There's hardly anyone around. So yeah, it was great that we could ski, but then on the other side, we really did miss the tourists, and that obviously we couldn't work, we couldn't earn money. But it looks like this winter is going to be a different kettle of fish. Summer-wise, a little bit better than last year. Obviously, last summer we did have tourism, and nobody in the Prince Adams area can complain about last summer. We opened on the 1st of July, and then most places started to close up end of September. Everywhere was very, very busy last summer. And what we noticed this summer was, even though we were open a month earlier, so we opened on the 1st of June, it wasn't as busy, because where last year the Germans could only come to Austria, they could go anywhere. So last summer we found that we got a lot of younger tourists, early 20s, school leavers, university age students who came to Austria from Germany and other places. They went back to their normal routine this summer, and they went off to the beaches of Italy and Slovenia and whatnot. So this summer's been busy. I've been up at the restaurant up in Bad Fusch, which if anyone's been to this area, they'll know the Großglocknerstrasse, which is the high alpine pass that goes over to Kärnten. So we're just on the access road of that. 1,100 meters up in the forest, and we have got a small, we call it a restaurant. If you look at it, it's nothing more than a shed, but we can sit 80 people outside, and it was relatively busy. June was good. July was better than last year. August was okay, and September wasn't the best. But overall, up on last year. So it kept us busy 7 days a week for 16 weeks. Pretty tired as it is now. And given the lifts open on the 9th of October, it is back to the gym on Monday because it is getting a little bit too cold to ride the bike.
I was going to say,
yeah.
I did see you did put up a post saying that you were going to be taking a quick break or getting back to the gym so you can get ready for winter.
Yeah, I was riding the bike pre-opening in June, and then once I started work, I'd just get back down. I was so tired. I hardly rode the bike. We had a couple of rain days, and I managed to get out in between the rain on those days, but not for anything substantial to get me in a good shape for winter. But I think I start work on the 7th of November, so I've got from now till the 7th to get good fit, let's say, which I should be able to do in about 6 or 8 weeks. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, that was it really. Last winter, very mixed. The summer again has been quite good, and we are just all looking forward to the winter and are very happy to see what the government have outlined for the start of the season.
Yeah, let's get into that because there's a number of things that have been, I guess, confirmed and explained in the last few weeks with masks and also around Aprés. So talk to us about masks and helmets. What's the latest there?
Masks and helmets. Okay, so before we go into masks and helmets, because there is a lot of debate about how you're going to ski with a mask and a ski helmet. And I'll go into that in a bit more detail in a minute. But restriction-wise, and we won't go into this in major detail, but the headliners are you're going to have to wear a mask, an FFP2 mask, when in ski lifts, when queuing for ski lifts, when on chair lifts, and when on T-bars, if not with a member of your family. You are going to be able to go to Aprés if you are vaccinated, recovered, or tested. However, depending on how many beds in the intensive care units fill, the restrictions will tighten. So we could go to a level where you can only go to Aprés if you've been vaccinated or if you've recovered. Tests won't apply. So there's a three levels. The worst case scenario for the lovers of Aprés is that we get to that highest level, which is you have to be vaccinated or you have to be recovered. Other than that, you can test to enter. Let's see how that pans out. The main thing is keep the hospitals empty, and we're all going to be happy as Larry.
But it sounds then that it sounds very positive that we're going to be hearing the likes of Country Road and Johnny Depp ringing round the Austrian mountains this winter.
Is that a positive, is it?
It is when you've had 5 Jaegers and a bunch of beers, that's for sure.
I was recently watching something, and somebody actually said that for people who are here for a week, it's fantastic. You know, country road, over and over and over again. But when you get to the end of month 1, month 2, month 3, we've got a 7-month season. And after 10 years, honestly, the moment it comes on, you...
Don't you think it would be quite easy to make like an Austrian, like Eurovision type song?
Quite possibly, yeah. Just
I reckon we could do it, and I reckon we could make it a number one. Like definitely
number one bestseller in the hit parade.
Yeah.
No doubt we could, especially if we brought in a Dutch person to do some goody talking, and we'd be away. Because a lot, and this is the thing, a lot of the Aprés Ski songs that are not in English are not actually even in German; they're Dutch, and it's for a lot of it's for the Dutch market.
Yeah,
and from what I understand, a lot of them listen to the same stuff at home, which beggars belief, to be honest. Okay. Now, before we go any further, let's get if we can, let's get the helmet and mask combo out the way.
Okay.
Because there's been a lot of debate about this, Matt, on Facebook pages. And somebody actually posted the question, how do people intend to wear an FFP2 mask with their ski helmet now it's going to be compulsory in Austria? Now, I understand that some of these people, or most of these people, didn't get to come skiing last year and therefore haven't had the experience of wearing a mask with a ski helmet. But before I kind of reveal the solution, I just want to give you some of the ideas that have been posted. Firstly, people are saying, don't go in gondolas, only go on T-bars and chairlifts. Okay, so if you come to Kaprun, you're not going to get to the glacier without going in a gondola. And also, you have to wear your mask in a lift queue, whether it's a T-bar or a chairlift. And you do have to wear the mask on a chairlift unless you are with your family only. Okay, and then you wear it you wear it with your helmet in the lift queue, and then you remove it when on the lift. Okay, string it to your visor was one recommendation.
Okay,
it's going to get very wet and sweaty. Do people not ski in buffs? Do they not get wet and sweaty? Clip it to your goggle band. What happens if you're going to take your goggles off? Take off your helmet. Somebody says it seems mad to be wearing a mask outside. You're in a gondola. You're on a chairlift. You're not outside. Or you're outside, but you're contained outside. It's like sitting in a car. If you've got to wear one in a taxi, you've got to wear one in a gondola. Buy some jeans closures from your denims. Attach them with pliers to your helmet and wrap the mask around. I thought that was the most ingenious. And then someone else said, wear a snood. Well, the whole thing is you've got to wear an FFP2 mask. So how a snood is going to help this. However, I think people are overthinking this because it's very, very simple. I'm going to show you how now. So
okay.
This is me getting ready to go skiing for the day.
Right.
Put on my mask.
Yeah.
Now, I've got headphones in. I wouldn't normally have headphones in. I then take my helmet, put my helmet on.
All right.
This is now me. This is me skiing. Okay. I ski down the run. I approach the lift. Voila. Sorry, I've got that back to front, haven't I? This is me skiing.
Right.
This is me approaching the lift queue.
Yeah.
This is me in the lift queue.
You don't want to confuse people here, Andy. Make sure this is right.
Okay. I'm now in the lift queue. I'm now in the lift.
Right.
I'm probably going to do this while I'm in the lift so I can talk to you and look you in the eye.
Yeah.
And as I come out of the lift or I ski off the chairlift, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to go skiing. You don't need to connect it to your helmet. You don't need to connect it to your goggles. You don't need to take your helmet off to put your mask on. You're on a lift for around 5 or 7 minutes. It's taking you a minute to ski down. Put it round your chin. It will act in a similar way to a buff. Because what do we do with buffs when we get in the lift? We lift them down and then we put them up. So it's the opposite. We put it up, we take it down. Quite simple. Please, everybody. Stop overanalyzing a very simple situation. It's not going to be difficult for you to ski with a mask and enter a lift queue when putting the mask on. Okay, you can even do it with ski gloves on. Trust me.
Well, that's the that's the thumbnail for this video sorted. So thank you for that demonstration, Andy.
No problem. So yeah, but please do keep the solutions coming because some of them are priceless.
I'd love to hear some people's other ideas. So folks, definitely if you've got a new creative idea for how we can do masks and helmets this winter, put them in the comments below, because Andy and I will try them. We'll each do different attempts in our own videos and see which ones work the best.
There is somebody in America who has designed a clip that clips onto the strap of your helmet, and then you attach the mask onto the clip that you've attached on. So they've gone to the trouble to designing this, getting it manufactured, and they're now trying to sell it on the internet.
Wow. Well, if they'll buy it, if someone buys it, mate, that's it, isn't it? So
I would eat my hat if they make millions from selling these things. Okay.
yeah.
What is funny though, in the past couple of days, is an FFP2 mask has gone up from 59 cents to 79 cents in the supermarkets since the announcement, and I'm wondering if they're going to get up to €1.
What's so special about an FFP2 mask? Because other than Austria, I've not really heard of it anywhere.
Well, yeah, and I wasn't sure if they had them everywhere else, but an FFP2 mask basically is slightly more robust than the normal medical mask that everybody was wearing at the beginning.
Yep.
And obviously last year when we opened, we were allowed to wear anything, any face covering. So you could have worn a buff. But they brought in this as a more robust, where's the camera? A more robust and supposedly able mask. I don't actually know why it's so different. It's not like it's got charcoal filters or anything like a paint sprayer would use or anything like that. But if I was a betting man, I mean, this is me being a bit of a cynic. If I was about to tell the whole country they had to wear a mask, it would be a mask that I just bought shares in. And then I would have cashed in because the shares of that company would have gone up and I would have got a big dividend. So I don't know. Maybe Sebastian is a shareholder in FFP2 masks. I don't even know who the manufacturer of the mask is, but you can get them in different colors. So don't worry. If you want a combo with your helmet, you can buy them in black, red, pink, orange for the Dutch. So yeah, lots of different colors for you to choose from with your FFP2 mask. I believe there is an FFP3 mask. If you want to wear that, I'm sure you're allowed because that's kind of beyond the minimum required standard. But yeah, don't worry about wearing your mask with your helmet.
Yeah. Right. Let's talk about next winter because especially over the last few weeks, it's definitely become a lot clearer. The prospects of being able to come out and go skiing for a holiday seem to be so much clearer this year. I mean, what are you seeing from Snow Camps Europe? How's it going with you guys?
Okay, so before I get onto that, let me kind of rewind to the start of my season because my season will start with ski instructor courses.
Yeah.
And then I'll go into the snow camps bit because there's some interesting pieces around the ski instructor courses this year. So obviously here in Kaprun, up on the glacier, because we open in October, we are an area that is very heavily used for ski instructor courses. The Snow Sports Academy from Vienna, the Vienna Verband, the Salzburg Verband, and some of the other areas in Austria, they bring this trainee ski teachers to Kaprun to use the glacier. Now, all of the ski instructor verbands or associations, all of them other than the Vorarlberg, have agreed that all of their coaches and examiners should be double vaccinated to work on their courses. They've also agreed that all students, doesn't matter where they are from, whatever country, all students attending the ski instructor training and exam should be double vaccinated. So they're not saying you have to be. No, sorry, they are. They're saying you have to be, but what that means is if you don't want to be vaccinated, you don't have to do the course. It's only if you want to do the course. So that's the first big thing for this winter. Now, what the head of the Ski Federation of Austria is also advising is that all ski schools only take double vaccinated ski teachers. Now, that is a little bit dodgy if they only employ on if you're vaccinated or not, because I believe that's illegal. You can't do that. But that is what they are advising. They are recommending ski schools only take double vaccinated ski teachers. Whether the ski schools will fall in line with that or not, I don't know. The person who has actually made that recommendation owns one of the biggest ski schools in Austria. I will be very surprised if he can get 450 ski teachers to work for him that are all double vaccinated. But we will have to wait and see. Maybe he runs a 300 number ski school instead of his normal numbers. So let's see what happens with that. So then that's the ski teacher courses that most of them start beginning of November. I'll be working on one of those, training ski teachers. And obviously I've been double vaccinated. They'll then go into their exams. And then as that happens, I'll start with the snow camp stuff. Now, at the moment, it's looking very, very positive. I had quite a few bookings in anyway from people who were for sure we're going to have a winter. And I've taken bookings without deposits at the moment, purely because if you pay me a deposit and I have to send it you back, you're going to lose money on the transfer because we're going from euros to pounds. So what I've said to all my customers so far is, don't pay me a deposit until we've got a clearer situation. I am now about to start sending out emails for the December course camp to say, please pay your deposits, and then give it a few more weeks. I'll start for the January, the February, and the March. But since the announcements earlier in the week, inquiries have just gone through the roof. I've taken several more bookings onto the December camp. March was overflowing before we even had that update, and then I'm getting more and more inquiries. I've had three inquiries today, so that's all very, very positive. And as we know, and we knew this last year, everybody wants to come skiing. Some people have missed 2 ski holidays. If you were supposed to come for Easter 2019 and then you didn't get to go 2020, you've missed two ski holidays. As we know from our connections in the travel business, a lot of people from March, April 19 instantly rebooked for 2020. They instantly rebooked when that got cancelled, and they've now booked a second, in some cases a third holiday, because they've just had no skiing holidays. And I'm seeing that with my bookings, and I know the other guys over at SIA who I do the podcast with, their bookings for their instructor courses running in November. Well, they've got courses actually running from November to March now because of the effects of Brexit. Their numbers are up, and again, a lot of it is people who had to cancel from previous years, but also there's a lot of people very, very eager to get out to the mountains. So yeah, it's looking very good. It's looking very good in the way that we are going to be open, and it's looking very good for snow camps with the bookings, because the more the merrier.
Yeah, I mean, can I just ask you about the courses and the instructing, because I listened to your podcast with SIA, which are really great, insightful, and informative, sort of to cover that side of the business in quite a detail. I learned quite a lot from watching them, and I'm just wondering, because tourism and the same applies with ski instructing is not on Austria's list of, I guess, sort of key jobs. So you've got saying that, okay, the instructors need to be double jabbed, but what's the situation with UK people wanting to come over and be ski instructors in Austria?
Yeah, so obviously this is the Brexit effect, and it's not just Austria; it's Europe. So think about Italy, France, or the other European skiing nations. Basically, if you haven't got a European passport, you cannot easily come and work as a ski instructor in Europe, or in this case, Austria. So previous, you would just literally sign up for a course, pass your exam. The course providers normally guarantee you a job, and they are still guaranteeing jobs for people on their courses, but you have to have the legal right to work in the country. The legal right to work is either a European passport, a second passport that's European passport, or you get yourself a permit / visa. It's very woolly on what they're called at the moment. And at the moment, from what I understand, and I've spoken to a couple of people who are trying to get the right to work in Austria this winter, and the ski school has to offer you a job, and then the ski school has to apply for that permit, which would cost them in the region of 150 euros. Then the authorities are going to say to the ski school, have you exhausted all of the Austrian workers? And if you say, yes, I can't find a ski teacher, which is not going to happen, they're going to say, well, you need to go to one of the other EU member states to recruit, which is going to mean we're going to see a lot more Dutch ski teachers, which we have a lot of anyway. We're going to see a lot more Danish, which we have a lot of anyway. And we might see even more Eastern Europeans, so Polish, Czechs, Romanians, etc., because they have got the right to work. So there are not going to be many ski schools who are going to jeopardize 150 euros to try and get a permit for a non-EU passport holder
Yeah.
when they know they're going to just lose that money. The Austrians aren't going to give the permits out. Now, that's what we believe the situation is and how it's working at the moment. We do believe that in coming years, it will change. It will have to change. And it will be interesting to see this year, one, if there is a shortage of ski teachers because of all of the British that normally come and work. And it will also be interesting to see how the quality of ski instructors is. Because even though we are not a skiing nation, British ski teachers are normally a better quality of ski teacher versus other nations. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, a lot of them do these pre-preparation courses with the likes of the Ski Instructor Academy. And they are prepared over a 6-week period. So they can normally ski when they arrive. Their skiing gets taken to pieces and rebuilt. They get taught how to teach. They get taught how to ask questions. They get taught how to read people. They get taught all of the methodic progression that the Austrian system works to. So they are fully prepared to take their exams and then go on and work at the ski schools. Where somebody from Holland, let's say, who just rocks up, does the 10-day exam course and gets through by the skin of their teeth, could be giving you a lesson the following Sunday. And there is a big difference in that person who's done that longer preparation course and had evening classes and language classes and avalanche safety and all of these different elements that are within these prep courses, to somebody who just says, I'm going to drive to Austria. If I don't pass, I'll just come back to Holland. But if I do pass, I'll stay for the winter. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the quality of the ski teachers who are that lower level qualification doing their first season is, and how then the tourists react to that. But as I say, we do think that it will have to change and it will become easier for non-EU passport holders or British people to gain employment. But at the moment, it just doesn't look like half of, well, nearly all of the people that I qualified with 10 years ago who've done season after season after season, who unfortunately didn't get back over because of COVID, now can't come back. They may have done 10 winter seasons and they can't come back and do their 11th season because they weren't here to get their Austrian residency card. And that's another thing, is the Austrian residency card. If you were in the country before December the 31st, 2021, even whether you had a job or not, there was different criteria you could apply for and you would get an Article 50 card. And that means that you can work, you can stay living and working in Austria. And it also means, and you covered this off in one of your previous videos with the chap from the Staffler, you can actually return to England and then return back for the winter, which those people who couldn't get into Austria couldn't get a card, so now can't come back. So literally their ski careers could be over. Or their European ski career, as much as Canada.
Well, I'm quite interested to know a little bit more about the instructor courses. Like you said, you've got those coming up first for your winter. What does a normal instructor course look like then?
So, as I said, the ones that the SIA offer, their basic, let's say, Anverter course is 4 weeks of SIA coaching, followed by the 10-day of the examination from the Vienna Verband, which in my experience, all of the Verbands are testing you on pretty much the same things to get the same level qualification, but some of them are slightly more strict on certain areas. And I would say the Wiener Verband, in my eyes, is a slightly better level 1 qualification than some of the other Verbands, in my experience. So what the ski instructor courses look like is you're basically doing 4.5 hours of coaching each day for 5 days a week. So you get a couple of days off to rest. You're being trained by minimum level 3 ISIA or instructors, teachers, whatever you want to call them. The majority of them are actually level 4 Staatlich state teachers. And the ones who are level 3 are people like myself who are experienced, a little bit older, a little bit wiser. And we basically take them. We start on day one just having a bit of a ski and seeing what your group can do, and then you'll start basically taking their skiing apart piece by piece and rebuilding it so they ski like a ski instructor. So they ski with good arm carriage, they ski with a good body posture, they ski a nice rounded long turn, let's say, and whatnot. And as you go through the 4 weeks, each group will change coach at the end of each week. So they get 4 coaches' perspective, because we all do it differently. We all do it differently. We all have our different way of delivering the course, let's say. So as they change and as you progress through the weeks, obviously their level improves. You cover off skiing like a ski teacher. So skiing snowplow turns, skiing plow parallels. They have to obviously perform at a performance level for their short turns and their long turns. And you're teaching them how to teach. You're teaching them the progression of skiing that the Austrians want to see. So how do I take somebody who's never put a pair of boots on day one? What do I do? So you do this, you do this, you do this, and there's a progression that you teach, so that you're teaching them that. and then, as well as the on slope stuff, they do off slope stuff. So they'll do stuff in the gym with Paul, who I do the podcast with, because Paul is very fitness orientated, and he does a lot of biometrics with them. They look at ankle flexion, they do balance stuff, they do plyometrics, body awareness, and things like that. So that is also included in the courses. And then there'll be evening classes, and the evening classes will replicate or be a pre-replication of what's on the exam. So you'll go through the progression, you'll go through movement, you'll go through avalanche awareness, danger on pistes. You go through the theory in between. How do I teach kids versus how do I teach adults? What are the different things? Because obviously kids learn in a very different way to how adults learn. So there are things like that. And there'll be different night sessions or classes throughout the 4 weeks. And as well as that, there is some fun, because we organize parties, of which this year, because all of the participants must be double jabbed, that means we can have parties. So I normally get involved in organizing those parties, and we'll have a couple of après events. We, believe it or not, throw a beach party typically over the past years, where everybody dresses in their beach wear in the middle of November, freezing cold. It's like a night out in Newcastle or Leeds. And yeah, that's once they've done their 4 weeks, they've given themselves probably a 90% chance of passing the 10-day exam. But if you don't do those 6 weeks or those 4 weeks, you've probably got about a 45% to 50% chance of passing that exam. Now, when I came back, I did a prep course, and you could have argued that I could have passed the 10-day exam, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't just pass it, that I passed it with a very good score. I also wanted to know that I knew the German, because as well, they will teach you German. There'll be German lessons. There'll be German lessons before you leave the country. There'll be German lessons when you're here, because you will have to take your exam in German if you have the right to work and you're going to work in German, in a German-speaking country. I think for those who are just doing the course to gain the qualification but don't have the right to work, I don't think that the German will be heavily focused on as it has been in previous years. But because of Brexit, what's happened for people like the SIA and the other course providers is they've had to reinvent their business model. One of the things you'll see with the SIA is they've gone, as well as the 4-week classic Anverter course, they've also got an 11-week gap year course, which I believe starts at a similar time, but it goes on for 11 weeks. And again, you're going to work towards your Anverter, but that's more about, it's an 11-week gap year course. It's a bit more social, and it's a bit more a holiday. You'll be able to try out more things than you would on the normal course, because you'll be able to go ski touring, do a bit of cross country, go snowshoeing, a little bit more time off the slopes for other activities, visiting Salzburg, let's say, and things like that. So that will be, it will still be focused on getting a qualification, but I think it'll be a bit more relaxed, and not so much 4.5 hours training every single day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about next winter. This one coming, Andy. What are you most looking forward to?
I can't really say après, can I? I'm looking forward to the tourists being back.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the tourists being back, but I'm looking forward to working.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I've worked 16 weeks. 2021, I've worked 16 weeks, which was I've just finished a couple of days ago. So I've worked from the 1st of June to the 19th of September in a year. And even though I do enjoy that when the ski season ends, I get 4, maybe 5 weeks off, and then I work the summer, and then I end up with about 4 or 6 weeks off. I enjoy that, but having so little work in a whole year wasn't good. So I'm looking forward to work. I'm looking forward to the tourists being back and to be able to teach again,
Yeah.
because just not teaching. I'm here to teach people to ski. Snow Camps is here to teach people to ski or to improve their skiing and to give them a good time when they're in resort. And it's not just, again, with Snow Camps, it's not just about the skiing, it's about the whole package. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back to it. And I just hope, because I did have another accident at the end of last year, I just hope my knees are going to allow me to ski for the whole winter. And I'm waiting to go up on the 9th and go for a ski and see how they are, because funnily enough, I finished my physio on my left knee, which was the one I re-damaged back in May. I only finished last week. And literally the next day, my right knee started playing up. And I've not done anything to my right knee. And again, this is why I want to get back in the gym and start pushing some weight and doing some squats. Because as everybody who has had a knee injury knows, the more muscle you build on your legs, the stronger the stronger and the tighter your knees will be. So
it sounds like you've been dancing on too many tables.
If only I had been dancing on tables. That would okay. So the third thing I'm looking forward to for this winter, dancing on tables.
Yeah,
the hurdy-gurdy Dutch music.
Well, you said you're in charge of going to be organizing some of the parties. Are you a good party organizer?
I think I would like to think so. Yes. I am the Aprés Ski coach of Kaprun. After all, I normally organize parties for the ski instructors as well. So not just on the ski courses, but the ski instructor community in Kaprun. I also organize. They started off being monthly, but then we ended up being weekly parties where we get up to all sorts of shenanigans. And I think most people will be familiar with the nails competition or the nails game. So we run nail competitions as part of the parties, giving the ski teachers the chance to win prizes that we get from local businesses and bars and whatnot. So yeah, it's important to look after the ski teachers. Ski teachers, believe it or not, don't earn a great deal of money. It costs them a lot to qualify. They don't really break even on the first season. And I think, organizing them some parties and getting them some stuff from local businesses is just kind of making sure that they get through the season.
Yeah. But I'm with you, mate. I have missed interacting with customers, in a ski resort massively. To not be able to do it for like basically 18 months has felt so strange. Like I miss having that conversation at the end of the day with a group of customers, like people on their holiday, and you're chatting with a drink or some food and asking them, how was your day on the slopes, what runs did you do, where did you go, all those type of conversations. Just not been able to sort of enjoy any of that and have those interactions for what feels like an age.
Yeah, and I think, and this goes back to, people think that a ski teacher's job is to teach people skiing, and obviously you're doing it from a concierge side or a rep, and when you go over to do the heli skiing, but people who work in resort who are customer facing are so much more, especially ski teachers, are so much more than just people who teach skiing. They are there in the bars to talk to of an evening, to make recommendations, to find out how it was going. And quite often or not, I'll pick up lessons from talking to people in bars, because they'll say, well, to be honest, I went out today and I had a dreadful day because I couldn't see where I was going. They said, oh, give them a couple of pointers in a bar. The next thing you know, you teach them to ski the next day. So it's, and again, this goes back to the Snow Camps philosophy. Snow Camps Europe offer a free in-resort service to anybody coming to Kaprun, no matter who you book with. You can book with Crystal, you can book with Sunweb, you can come independently. You might not have booked anything with me at Snow Camps Europe, But if you email me or you message me or you call me or you see me in the street, I'm more than happy to help you out. I've had people, the winter of COVID, just messages at 12 o'clock at night. Andy, we need an out of hours chemist. Where do we go? Boom, I'll tell them. Obviously, if I'm not awake, I can't tell you. And I always say my phone's on from 7 in the morning till 10 at night, and I'll answer out of them hours if I can. But you'll get a response the minute I've seen your message. So that could be 3 o'clock in the morning when I get up to go to the toilet, or 7 o'clock in the morning when I get out of bed. And just other things are, my husband needs to get back to the office on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. How can we get him to the airport? You know, this is what snow camps is here for, as well as for you to come on our camps and learn to ski. We offer this in-resort service that if you need any help with your equipment bookings, you lose your skis, you need to go and fill out a police report, you lose your bags at the airport, you don't know what to do. That's what we're here for. And as I say, I'm a ski teacher, but we offer so much more.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that you guys do really well, especially obviously, spearheaded by yourself, is your video content on YouTube. Everybody looks forward to the snow reports. When are they coming back, and what are they going to look like this year?
Yeah, the snow reports. I've forgotten about them for a minute. So snow reports are normally out on a Wednesday. I typically upload them late afternoon, early evening on a Wednesday. It's basically to stop me going out to Apro on a Wednesday. I come down off the mountain, I edit them, and I upload them. And they'll continue on a Wednesday, because I think Wednesday is quite good, because most people, especially from the UK, are arriving on the Saturday. So it gives them an idea of what the conditions are like 3 days before. And then I give a 5-day local forecast. So that covers off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, which is 2 days into their holiday. So they continue to come out on a Wednesday, probably a similar format to last year. If anyone hasn't seen one, bob over to the YouTube channel. But I will, as always, I'll give you the snow depths for Capron. I'll talk about the snow quality, where is good skiing, where is not so good skiing, and then there will be the 5-day forecast. And along with the snow depths, temperatures, what to expect in the valley and on the glacier, because it's massive difference. It can be -1 in the valley, and it can be -20 with wind on the glacier. So I give a pretty robust weather and snow report. And yeah, that is it. I try and do each week from a different position or a different place. So you get to see a different part of the mountain, whether that be Zalmsee, the Maiskogel village mountain in Capron, or up on the glacier. And they will start again on, I think, October the 9th is a Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th of October should be the first snow report, which is actually a day before I then go on my summer holidays, believe it or not. I'm going away on the 14th for the summer holiday. So there won't be a snow report in week 2. But then from week 3 on, there will be every Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening on YouTube and on Facebook.
Yeah. Lovely. I think, am I right in saying that the glaciers already had a little bit of dusting of fresh snow this autumn?
Yeah, we had a very good snowfall about the last. Actually, we had a lot of snow the last 4 days of August. It snowed basically for 4 days, day and night. A little bit of a break here and there, and then it warmed up again, and it snowed again a couple of days ago. About, I don't know how many centimeters it was, about 10 centimeters maybe. At the moment, it's sun in the forecast for the next few days. But it literally, it's the same time of year every year. It's like someone flicks a switch. And I know there's a lot of talk about weather patterns are changing and the globe is getting warmer. But with the snow reports, I think I've got three seasons worth of reports. And it's crazy how when the snow arrives, it's always within the same few days. When we get the big dump of snow in January, it's within the same few days. When we get the massive powder dump in April and May, it's within the same few days. So you can almost go on to last year's snow reports and the year before, and I guarantee you, whatever I'm saying is about to happen will probably happen within the next few days, unless we have a really dry winter. But I don't think we will, because summer's been mixed, but I think we're in for a relatively good winter.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed that there is powder all across the mountains of the world, mate, in Canada and in Austria. I hope you have a fantastic season.
So do I. And I say, very envious if you're going over to Canada. I've never skied in Canada, and what you showed us on that with the lodge and everything looked absolutely fantastic. I just hope that you take a little bit of coaching while you're there, mate. brush up on your technique.
To be fair, like I there's definitely some polishing up I'd like to do on my backcountry. It's on my list of things to actually do a bit more ski touring.
Oh, cool.
Because I've done it twice. I did it once in Chamonix when I was a lot younger, and I was very, very ill, and we ended up skiing back down in the dark. The trainer was some ex-military guy, fit as a flea, decided to take us start us touring up, skinning around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So by the time we reached the peak, I just remember him skinning all the way back to us down the queue and going, "If you guys don't hurry up, you're going to have to spend the night in a snow hole." I remember skiing back in the moonlight. And then I did another day in Teen, the day after the resort had closed, and I loved it. It was a really, really good feeling. Haven't yet bought myself some bindings for it, but I'm going to be keeping my eye out for it.
We did a podcast about ski touring, and it was kind of like how easy it is to get into ski touring, because obviously last winter when the lifts they opened, then they closed, everybody, including myself, went out and got touring kit, and I'd never toured until last winter. And I actually used to watch people and think, God, that looks like hard work. Why bother? Get a lift pass, spend some money. But then, because I was almost forced into doing it, it's actually fantastic. It was a great workout.
Yeah,
being out in places that I wouldn't normally go, and a lot of the touring that I did was within closed resorts. So I was touring up unpisted pistes in the ski resort, and then skiing down unpisted pistes. I did do a little bit more backcountry stuff, and again, there's videos all over our YouTube channel. But I think I've now actually wasted 10 years where I wasn't going ski touring. It's very, very good, and if anyone hasn't tried it, then give it a go. Yeah.
If Canada had not pulled off, I had actually a bit of a sort of a long trip planned to Austria, and I was going to actually come over and get you to give me some technique pointers.
Always more than welcome, mate.
Welcome. No.
And if you want to fly me out to Canada, also possible.
Well, yeah. I mean, the visa is, I mean, if it gets stamped at the immigration, is for 2 years. So, who knows, mate? Who knows? But listen, thanks so much for coming on today. It's been great to touch base with you again, and we've just discussed quite a few topics today.
Yeah, I think we've covered a fair bit. Just a couple of things for people who don't follow Snow Camps. Snow Camps Europe on Facebook, on YouTube. I will be in the winter as well as the snow report on a Wednesday. I'll be going live probably once or twice a week on what we term as the dog walk live. So I'll give you a little news update whilst walking my dog in the morning. And then also there'll be random moments of live on Facebook from up on the mountain when things happen. And if there are any changes in regulation, rules, updates from the government, then I will be publishing them the minute I find them. That will be on the Facebook page. And yeah, if anybody wants to come over and see us, then drop us a message, and we'll see you in Capron hopefully this winter with a mask and helmet combo.
There's never any shortage of content that you put out, mate, and obviously it's always great to sort of get all the latest info in terms of what's going on in Austria and with the skiing. So I wish you all the best for the season, mate, and let's catch up again soon.
Yeah. Cheers, Matt. You too. Have a blast in Canada, and let's see lots and lots of content from you.
Cheers,
thanks, mate.
Thanks. So thanks very much for watching today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, Andy has been on our channel a number of times before. Always a good laugh and has a lot of good stuff to get you guys up to speed with. We've discussed the situation in Austria for this winter with regards to restrictions, the masks, the helmets, the Aprés Ski. We've gone into some real depth actually on what is involved on the courses for an instructor and what it's actually like, and what Snow Camp Europe do and how they take care of people in the resort. as mentioned, Andy is a big video content maker himself and is always pushing out lots of things. So if you want to go check them out, I'll put the info in the description below, as well as some links as we wrap this up as well. If you have enjoyed it today, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, leave a comment below. Take care, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully, we'll be giving you a bit of a Revelstoke reveal. See you later, guys.